everybody, welcome to the ranch. So today we're in the garden. You know, it's never too early to prepare for your spring and summer garden, and maybe you're preparing for your fall garden. Whatever season it is, it's never too early. And so the one thing you need to think about before you start everything is soil preparation. We've been talking to a lot of farmers and a lot of friends lately about preparing their soil for the season. And so whatever season it is, let's focus on how to get your garden ready. One of the things we do is compost. We love to put compost in our garden to get the beds ready. And so we're going to talk about all the dirty details today, the top 6 things that we put in our garden compost.
Let's head to the compost. Here we go. Okay, so we've made it back to the compost bin. This is one of the biggest compost bins I've ever had, but I had to build it in order to get the compost I needed to make that garden look and grow awesome vegetables. And so you can adjust the size of your compost bin based upon the size of your garden. Obviously, if you're just doing like a patio garden, some smaller raised beds, then you don't need a size like this. But this just gives you an idea of one type of compost bin, and this is roughly a 8 by 12 bin, and this will give me several cubic yards of compost that I'll put on that garden each and every year. So now that I've told you that, let's look at our top 6 things that we like to put in our compost. Number 1.
So the first thing you would have to put in your compost, and probably one of the most common things that people use in their compost bin, are food scraps. You can use fruits and vegetables. Most of the time we've got stuff like apples, we've got some lemon peels, we've got an avocado peel, we've even got tomatoes. You can stick food scraps into your compost and it's going to break down, and it's great for the soil. One of the best ways to do compost inside with your food scraps is a little attachment like this. This attaches onto our countertop area. Another way to do it are the little compost bins that you can have a lid to. There's lots of different ways that you can find compostable inside bins, or stick a bin on the outside of your door and use a 5-gallon bucket if you want. But the thing is that one of the top and the easiest ways to compost is to compost your food scraps. Put them in a bucket and take them out and start putting them in that compost bin.
One of the things I'll say about the food scraps is discipline. That is one of the most difficult things. It's easy, like she said, there's a lot of food scraps that are being wasted, and that's the most important thing when you're on a homestead or just any farm in general. You want to have very little waste. And so all this scrap can go into your compost, but you have to be disciplined to collect it. That's the biggest thing.
And no meats. We don't put meat in our compost bin. You're just putting fruits and vegetables. You can put some breads and things like that.
Number 2, another item that we like to put into the compost is our wood ash. One of the things that we do through the winter is we heat our house with firewood. That's all we use throughout the year. And so this is another idea of things not to waste when you're done with it. So it's already broken down. It's just a matter of tossing it in the compost. One word of warning: make sure it's wet or completely dry before you put it in your compost. You don't want any fires. Number 3, being part of a large family, I cut my hair and several of the other boys' hair, and so again, we don't want to waste anything.
Hair. We put hair into the compost. It's great. It adds extra nutrients, and we just toss the hair in when we're done with it.
Hey, little side note too. When you take hair like that and sprinkle it around your garden, a lot of times animals won't come around. Number 4.
Next up, we have tea or coffee grounds. So we are a large family and we drink iced tea quite a bit. So we've got these big gallon-sized tea bags, and it does take some discipline. Remember, you're not always going to be drinking these giant gallon-sized tea bags, but it does take some time. Take those small tea bags, rip them open when you're finished, and go ahead and take those grounds out and use them. Put them in your compost bin, the one inside or the one outside. Throw them in your compost. It's great for that overall. And don't forget, you've got places like Starbucks, the local coffee houses or tea places. Ask them if they have extra coffee grounds. I'm sure that they do. We've gone to Starbucks several times over the winter and summer last year, and we were able to get bags of coffee grounds for our compost. So don't forget about asking people for those things and taking the time to do what you need to do to collect up and build that compost.
Number 5. Next up, hay. Behind me is one of the areas that we put our hay out for the cows. And again, we don't want to waste anything. So this, even though the cows are being particular now and they won't eat that because it's laying on the ground, we will take it and we'll put it in our compost to start breaking down with all the other items that we've already showed. So some people may not have large animals and they don't have hay laying around, and that's okay. What I don't have is grass, because we usually let the cows eat everything, and sometimes that even means letting them into the front yard to eat the grass. But most people at least do cut grass, and you can get grass clippings, or maybe a neighbor that has some extra grass clippings. Just remember that you want to keep on building your compost. Don't quit, be disciplined, and be consistent throughout the whole year so that you can build it as much as you want. This is what you need to have a good, healthy garden. Number 6. Our last item on the list of our top 6 items is manure. On our farm, we've got plenty of it. We got a lot of cattle manure, we got ducks, chickens, rabbits. One thing that you need to be mindful of is whether it is a hot manure or a cold manure. The hot ones you do not want to put directly into your garden. The cold ones you can. But for this video, we're looking at compost. So if you put this in your compost, give it time to break down. And the way that you'll know that it's finished breaking down is typically when you pick it up, it's like dirt. Now you may not have a farm and you may not have access to all these different types of manures, but just remember that farmers like to support local, and they also like to give their stuff away when it comes to poop. So feel free to reach out to local ranches, anybody that has horses, because most likely they're going to have a pile of manure that they don't know what to do with. So if you tap in to your local farmers and ranchers, I'm sure that they would have something that they'd be more than happy to give to you. Look at this soil. This is amazing soil, and this has done well for us throughout the whole year. Whether spring, fall, it didn't matter. It's holding up wonderfully because we took time to build our compost from scratch.
So another thing is that when you take the time and you really build your compost up and you put it in your garden, you're gonna see that you're gonna start out with a small little system right here of the original stuff that we bought, and you've got this huge, massive root system. With a lot of the time and the consistency of building your compost and putting it in your garden area, whether it's a big garden or it's a small raised bed somewhere or even a little potted garden, any size, it doesn't matter. You want good, healthy plants, and that's what you're gonna get when you have a great compost foundation. So thanks so much for watching this video. We really appreciate you coming here. We ask you just like it and share it and subscribe and hit the notification and all those things. We really want you to come back. We've got lots more gardening videos and a lot of other things we're doing here on the ranch, and we'd love to see you come back. Share also. If you've got garden tips, we want to hear them. Maybe you don't put something that we use in compost in your garden, but you actually have something else that you put in your compost. Maybe you live on the coast and you put something in there that's unique. Thanks again.
Till next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Okay, that's it.
Is she still recording?
Okay, guys, welcome to. You're not gonna say, okay. We're just gonna start over. Stop.
You just
Ready?
made it like 2
Ready?
seconds into the video.
Okay, I know. Ready? Hey, everybody! Welcome to the ranch. Today we're in the garden, and so.
Why are you hitting with your arms?
Because I use my hands to talk. Welcome to the ant farm. Okay, that's actually like that in the summer and spring. Okay, ready?
She was recording.
That looks slow mo. Look. So next up is tea bags or coffee grinds. Not really bags. Okay, rewind. Ready? Start over. Okay. Now.
Catchy face.
Why are you like? What is
because
this?
I totally didn't have it. And you're blaming me. Okay. Okay. So next up we have the coffee or tea grinds or grounds.
Grounds.
Rewind. Okay. Do you hear the goat?
We had one more to do,
goat
and you
screaming?
couldn't just wait.
The goat's like, "Meh, meh, meh." You hear it back there?
Are you?
Number 6.
Is it
Go.
still recording?
Number 6.
Yes, I'm sorry.
What's up? You guys are shooting videos. I didn't notice. Hey, be quiet over there. Quiet on the
Pipe
set.
down.
Pipe down. And you may not have that type of manure. And one thing to be it's a secret. You have to guess. Guess what I'm thinking.
Okay, do it.
Are we on now? So I know that a lot of these items we're showing you are smaller, but if you keep on keeping on and just keeping on about keeping on, then just keep on. Keeping on? Keep on.
Say be consistent.